Go. Tricky mate. Hello? What the heck is that? Oh my god. I'm just made it. Oh my goodness. This is really unbelievable.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Take It to the Max show with Grandmaster Max Dlugy. I'll be playing 5-minute chess today from my new location, the Chess Max Academy on the Upper East Side. So this is my first game from this new location. Everyone, by the way, is welcome if you're in New York to come and play Blitz, play tournaments, or just take some lessons from this place. It's a beautifully located little, I would say, club. And here I forget what is the point of a4. Suppose I can just play e6, but I'm not so certain about that. Should I just play e6? Knight f6. It's an interesting move. a4. a4, a4, a4. Okay, e6 looks reasonable. And the only issue was e5, but since Black didn't play e5, I'm not really worried at all. e5 I would have to think about. Now it's a little too late because I'm already castled and away from that whole mess. Yeah, I wasn't worried about that because maybe I can just what should I do? Take and play d5. Maybe that's a good way of doing it. Now knight c5, I'll win the pawn back on b5. With queen b6. And if white takes en passant, I'm sure to have a good position after knight f5. I don't think white can really hold on to that pawn and
check.
That's an interesting idea, but that's a pawn sack. And I'm going to take that one. Okay, black could play in g4, but that looks really double-edged at best, but who knows? Interesting position, certainly. Could also play knight d6, winning pawn that way. Or knight d4, which was my initial idea, but then g5 anyway, yeah? Should I play knight d6, g5, knight b5? Maybe even knight f5. What a weird looking position, What if I go here after all? I'm going to remove this knight. This knight may be dangerous. Okay. Yeah, now let's go e5 probably. e5 takes rook 8, bishop f4. e5 looks like a must. I'm sorry, it looks like a must. Must play move. Okay, now it's good because now first of all bishop h3 looks nice. Also e4 looks nice, right? And just e4. And I can defend the d pawn with my d pawn once I take. And now, okay, this is interesting. I'll play rook e8 at some point. Let's play bishop f5 for now. Okay. What a weird position. Okay, take this guy. And go in for rook e3, right? Here I go. That move I had an immediate response to, all ready to go. that I assume my opponent missed. Yeah, he did miss it. Otherwise he wouldn't have resigned. So this was a really, really interesting struggle. I think white was maybe better at one point. I mean, it came around here. I thought here already here when white played d3, he should have played e5. That was interesting. And then, of course, knight e4. But once he played d3, knight e7, e5, I wasn't so worried about. Now I castled, and d5. Actually, I took first, right? And d5. Now my idea was that on knight c5, I'd play queen b6 and win back this pawn. And if white played pawn takes pawn, I would play knight f5. And even though white wins a pawn, I think it's really not so important, because let's say I take, hit this one, and on c4, I can play, for example, I mean, there's so many good moves. Knight f5, just controlling the square is one move, or b6, and on knight e4, maybe even takes, or just bishop b7. Anyway, I thought I was doing well then. Okay, well, here we are, and time for my London. Okay, my opponent's worked it up, no problem. d5 is just another move, but that pawn is hit. Okay, cool. Now let's consider d5. d5 takes, bishop takes d5. Not so great, actually. What if I just defend with c3? Maybe better yet, I'm gonna take, play knight b3. If I take and play knight b3, this is interesting, maybe. Yes, something like this. I just want some free piece play quickly. This may give it to me. Because now, if black goes back, okay, that's no problem. Yeah, I don't know why that helped black exactly. Maybe I can even play queen d4 here, in that case. And on knight f6, no, that doesn't help. So I'm going to take, and then play knight f3. And that was, okay, that's what I had in mind. Now I could play bishop d6. Let's play rook e1 first. I've got free piece play here. Free piece play is sometimes worth a little bit in positional considerations, such as black has a massive center compared to me, but moving it is not going to be so easy. So yes, of course he starts to move it, and now I have to be very versatile. So first of all, that bishop's not doing much, so I'm going to put it back here to d3, tuck it in. Okay, now let's bring the rook out to d1. This is barely okay, because the bishop on e7 is hit. Okay, now let's see. Let's play the knight to d4. I want to play knight f5 some point. Okay, but here, let's bring this bishop here to g5. Okay, now let's see. How should I proceed? Maybe a4 to play a5. a5 and a6. And that, well, hopefully black's pieces won't have too many squares. And if black plays a5, then I'll have a square for my knight on b5. Or maybe even for my bishop. The key is my pieces are very nicely placed in the center, so it's not going to be that easy for black to improve his position. I would play probably knight c5 here. Okay, here I'm going to play a5. Okay, now I think he wants to play queen c6 if I play knight b5. So let me play knight f5. In that case, kind of hovering over his position a little bit. A6 or just bishop b5? Maybe bishop b5 just to pin up some stuff. Pin up a little bit something around here. Bishop f6 is probably a threat already. Okay, how can I improve my attacking chances here? Not so easy, huh? Somehow I'm losing my footing here. So let's make a luft. Then he'll play rook b8. That's not so hot. Need to threaten something. Can't do it. Okay, maybe I have to go here. To go knight a5, knight b7 later. Okay. Yeah, here I have the queen move here for now. Cool. Let's move back. Okay, let's move back again. Finally threatening something. In a way. Bishop takes knight as my threat. Okay, that's nice. Okay, now... Okay, maybe I have queen a5 now. Although that's why I want my knight to go. That looks like pinning up that piece is reasonable. So now I have lots of good squares to go to, maybe. Okay, knight f5 now. Knight d4 maybe. Knight is going to b5 or f5. That can't be too bad. Complicated position. No time to waste here. Okay, he's thinking, which is nice. I'm actually ahead on time, first time in a while. Well, c4 should I play, or knight d5? Oh boy, boy, boy. Just to play rook d2, I guess. I don't know. Couldn't figure anything out. Okay, I'm losing some material, obviously, but it's a sacrifice. Call it a sacrifice. Oh boy. What to do? Time to sacrifice here. Oh boy. This is not good. Yeah. This isn't good. Let's take that bishop. It's a nice little trap. Maybe turns the table around.
Check.
Maybe turn the tables around here. Yeah, wow. Did you see that? What a comeback out of a hopeless position. So somewhere around here I thought I was doing well. When I played knight d4, my opponent played queen d7, I thought I'm doing well here. But I couldn't quite start, I couldn't quite finish what I started. Maybe I should have attacked this pawn here. Somehow to play c4, but I don't know. This is a very complicated position. Still. What did I do? Instead I played knight b5. And my pawn correctly went, I think, after this bishop. Then I wanted to play knight d5 and c4, but I noticed bishop b4 was a killer. So I refrained from that. And then, of course, I played this slow move. Maybe I should play b3 just to play c4. Or something like that. But I played a rather slow move here. Rook e2, black played f5, and now I couldn't really see anything to do except to start sacrificing. So I first prepared it with this, black played back, which was an excellent move, and now I sacrificed and took on f5. But then I missed that this is going to be a killer, and now I was just completely lost. The only thing after this kind of weak move I noticed was that my queen could come to b1 maybe at some point. So I played h4 to try to open it up, and then black played here, probably thinking that he's winning this bishop too. But now he took the pawn. He took, okay. The position is, of course, completely winning for black, but there's still game to go. And then, of course, black just blundered, and I managed to win a nice finale with queen f7 mate. That's the idea. Okay, let's see how this game goes. Okay. Wait a second. Okay, I'm back. Strange move. Well, let me take on d4. Black is trying too hard. White is trying too hard to do what he wants, but I'm gonna stop him. I know exactly what he wants. I've been around. I'm gonna play knight e4 and f5 to actually stop White's plan of just trying to mate me directly. And now I'm gonna play queen a5. I think that's a cool move now. Now I'm gonna castle. I'm gonna castle and play f5. Okay, of course it's double-edged, but it also stops White's very simple plan of building up the attack with knight e5 himself. Okay. I'm trying to hit the d4 square a little bit. And next I can maybe play b6 and bishop b7 and so forth. So should be okay here. Develop my last pieces and see how I can start attacking. Okay, this is this cannot be too bad. Okay, let's make a weakness. Let's have White play g3 while he's at it. That can't be too great for him. My bishop ever lands on the door long diagonal. He doesn't want to play it, you see? is thinking, oh no, not a g3, just not g3. But that's why. Okay, now I'm back. Now I think white should take. If he takes on d5, maybe I have knight d2. Yeah, this is actually, after g3, this is quite plausible, because if I land the second guy on that, yeah, knight d2, queen d2, queen d5, and I want to try, okay, I'm going to try this. On d6 I have bishop g5. I don't think it's that great for white. But now queen d5. And now I just want to play bishop b7, if you don't mind. That's my idea. That was the point behind g3, by the way. It's a big point. White even has the bishop a bit pinned on d3. Even if it wasn't pinned on bishop c4, I would have a move like queen c6, still trying to get in the second piece onto the long diagonal. So not so easy. Not so easy for white to deal with this. Alright, that's a pawn sack from what I understand. f3 is probably coming. I'm absolutely ready for that. Take that baby off. No question. Now play bishop c. Should I play bishop c5? Yes, because that would get the king going to f1. That can't be too bad. Now my king defends. And white's completely lost, if I may be so bold as to say that. I think white is completely lost in this position. Okay, where should the bishop go? Probably just b7 is fine. Well, maybe bishop b4 was good too. The e pawn is weak. That's the big problem for white. If we trade down all the pieces, at the end of it, well, there's also rook c8, and on rook d7 I can trade and play rook c2. Should I just go for that end game? I don't know. Let's rook c8, rook d7. I'm gonna go for this. Yeah, and now I was thinking, alright, what should I do now? This is a bit weird how I played this. Okay, let's go into descending. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go for this. Did I really misplay it so badly? I'm just thinking. Seems so easily winning. Okay, I'm gonna try to win on the queen side, on the king side. Oh boy.
Check.
Oh boy. What a way to misplay this. Horrible. Okay, White's playing for a win now, huh? This is possible. Okay, let's attack the bishop. Because the bishop's standing very well.
Check.
Oh my god. How does that work?
Check.
How does that work? Doesn't work. It's just a blunder. Oh boy. For a second I thought I saw something, but there was check and rook b1 if White just pushed the pawn, so that was a bit hasty by White. Of course now I just stopped that pawn. Okay, I don't care about that pawn anymore. Time to win my other pawns here. Wow, that was a bit lucky. That was a bit lucky, I have to say. Alright, well, what was happening there is I played very well the first part of the game. I mean, this is a risky plan, but the idea is like I'm having this Dutch defense, but White took with the e pawn on d4, which is a bit unconventional. And now I'm just trying to hit some targets, and then I think this was an important move, trying to get this move g3 in and weaken this diagonal. And it's actually hard for White to play something else. So when he did this, then his main idea of taking on d5, and now I think he should have played d6 anyway, and because now after d6 it's not so easy. I was thinking of playing bishop g5, but I think after f4 it would be quite complicated. So anyway, White missed that opportunity and the game rolled downhill from then on as I took the long diagonal and aggressed against him that way. Okay, well, let's take control over the e4 square here and try to change bishops. Okay, good. Good. Black can't cancel, and I can, and I did, in fact, cancel. And now take control over the center. That's why I played f3. Every move becomes useful now, which is a good check of your emergency broadcast system. If every move you played actually makes sense, that means you did something good in the opening. That looks random. Wait a second. If I play e5 followed by queen g7, don't I just take that whole rook away from black? I'm gonna do that. That looks awesome. That's a whole rook, guys. Wow, that's good. What am I missing? Why is this not a whole rook? Yes, it is a whole rook, and my opponent just agreed with me on that one, and so on goes the next game. A whole rook, my god. Alright, well, here we go. Defending, and now we go off. Developing our pieces. Very important to play h3 as soon as the bishop appears on e7 to safeguard our light squared bishop. I kind of want to check him for that little transgression he did. Check him. I'm going to take on c5 here. I don't like that move d6. I think it's a little early. If black had cancelled, I would have been just playing simply with bishop d3. But this looks a little iffy to me. So I'm going to check.
Check.
And then I'm gonna play. Should I take and play queen a4? Or play queen a4 immediately? Maybe I should take and play queen a4. Now hit this one. I don't know if this is serious. Maybe I'm just making this up. Probably making it up. It's not such a big deal after all. Yeah. I think I was wrong. I think black was actually fine. And fully defended. And what I was trying to do was a little bit too early. Okay, no reason to actually take that knight myself. I'll let black do that if he wants. Meanwhile, trying to double in that d file. Once again, trying to get as much pressure on that d6 pawn as possible. Okay, no problem there. Another rook is coming to d1. Queen c5 is in the air too, by the way. Queen c5, okay, queen c5 is defended against, but this is a weakness. Okay, now, obviously, black can't play d5, and I have to stop him from trying even. But if I can get my knight to d5, I'll be doing great, huh? How do I get my knight to d5 now? That's the big question. Bishop h4. Getting rid of that bishop is an idea. Yes, that's fine, maybe. Now, finally, let's play e4 before black plays f5 and completely locks up the board. Okay, that's fine. My queen has outstayed its welcome anyway. It's time for my knight to start moving around. Knight h2, f1, e3 is coming. Or knight g4, knight e3. I don't think black has got a good position anymore. I think black is in trouble. Somehow black got... Okay, this is not going to happen. Although I could take on b5, and I think the endgame after b3 is really quite bad for black. Let me just do that instead. No reason to keep the queens on if you don't have to. If you're sure of your advantages. Now my knight's coming to e3 and f5. Hopeless position for black, I think, but I may be wrong. There may be something that I'm missing. Okay, even knight e5 looks winning, but why? Why bother, right? Let's keep on the plan. Check. Okay, bring one knight in. Now start making... Now the bishop can move in. Well, actually h4 is a good start. Okay, now h5. Or should I play h5 later? The bishop f2 first to stop the knight from moving. Okay. How do I break through, right? That's what black is saying. How do I break through? Okay, here I'm gonna play b4 to break through on this side. Interesting. Okay, now let's play a3. Take. No problem. Okay, now perhaps it's time to do another knight maneuver. 5.
Check.
So play knight c6. Okay. Okay, well, it's fine. Time to attack this knight here, this pawn here on a4. Maybe knight b6 was a little bit more civil, but that's okay. Knight d4 he wants to play. He wants to play knight d4. I can allow it. Let's take on d. We can take on g5 by now. And move our king in. A little closer.
Check. Check. Check.
Okay, we can move the bishop almost anywhere, right? Let's say here. Okay. Okay, let's take this guy. Now, let's think about this. 92 looks good because the a pawn I can still go after later, but d4 is nice. Okay, and
Check.
win the bishop, of course. Okay, I mean, that was a tough game, but of course black was a little worse after he kind of lost all the dark squares, all the light squares, all the dark squares, I don't know, all the squares that needed to be held on to, he kind of lost, and then it became a very difficult process for black to hold the position. Okay, this is a typical isolated pawn position, I suppose. Champ Buster must be a very strong grandmaster. I don't know who he is, but I don't think I've played him. Trying to make use of my maybe a little bit weird move knight b4. Maybe I should have played simply castles, because now I think he's thinking about knight e4, or even that. That's a strange move, but I'm going to take that bishop and I'm going to castle finally. Yep, that's a reasonable. Okay, now if I play bishop d7, I'll lose. So I have to play something more reasonable here. Maybe even b5. I think I'm going to play b5 here. I don't know, looks very dangerous. Something went wrong here. I think my position is really bad. Maybe b5 was a mistake, and maybe I shouldn't have taken so quickly on d3, but I think white can take the knight, play knight e4, and then knight c6 is in the air. Oh, this is not that dangerous, I think. Even bishop b7 looks reasonable here. In fact, it's probably the best move. Let me just check. That looks okay. And I finally developed all my pieces. I think white should have taken an f6 earlier. That would have been a big problem for me. Knight f7, bishop e4, so this is fine. Okay. If knight f7 now, though. Oops. What did I do then? I think I'm just a pawn down then. I missed it. Missed knight f7. My God. And he missed it too. Thank God. All right, we're in the game. Blundering left and right, but we're in the game here. Okay, so I don't want to let him play bishop knight f7 and rook b8. On rook b8 there's no knight f7, so maybe I should just play bishop f6, knight d7. It's not so hot. Okay, probably have to hit this one first. Too well placed. Queen is too well placed there. Yeah, after knight f7, queen e7, I'm just a pawn down, but of course I would have compensation. I would have the c file and the weak d pawn, so I would be alive. I would say quite alive, but now d5 is in the air. When black plays d5, he'll be a little better. So if white plays d5, so I have to play something weird to stop it. Let's say rook e8. Anti d5 move, hopefully. A little advantage on the clock may help me. Okay, I was going to play bishop f6 anyway, so that's helpful. I was going to do it in almost any move. Now d5 looks like it's not playable anymore. And okay, that's nice because now I can just, okay, I'll play h6. Right. Now f5 is the threat of swords. Oh, I mean, on f5 there's queen e5, but still, it's a bit of a threat, right? Really, just now you do that. That's really strange. Just when I, so on f5 de, queen f8, e7, queen f7, I win. And what do you do? Queen e5, then I take, like I'm playing f5 no matter what. Yes, that's the move I was planning, and I think it works fine. And that should win a piece, actually. I don't know why white didn't play queen e5, but I think the position would be roughly equal, maybe a little bit, a tad better for black thanks to the bishop, but not much more. Now white has to sack, probably, yeah, like that, but okay. But okay, I'm gonna take this guy to keep my king a little safer. And now a piece up, boys and girls, which is a nice treat. Now rook d8, e7, check. So probably not rook d8, but rook e7 or queen e7. No, queen f6 probably. Queen f6 looks nicer than everything else. No, this pawn I'm not giving up unless... No, I'm not giving up that pawn at all. Okay, now what? Let's stop rook c6. That's the move my move was supposed to stop, and I didn't stop it somehow, right? Okay, well, let's take this guy. And let's White has no time. That's my chance.
Check. Check.
Oh my god, I missed that idea. Okay, now
Check.
I have to do this. Okay, now let's bring the bishop into the game. Somehow.
Check. 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 Check.
Oh my god, did he make a draw? Oh my god, that's too bad. I missed 3-time repetition there. Okay, position is actually not that clearly winning for me anymore. Because I think I screwed up around here somewhere when I played this move, rook b6 to start. But okay, even here,
Check.
somehow I should have made the bishop go this way. I don't know. But interesting stuff. So what happened there was, of course, a typical position, but then somehow I played this move a6, which is maybe early. I should just castle, and now it's already a little bit difficult, and now white started playing very aggressively, and I think correctly, and I think too early, and now after knight e5 this was really tough to make a choice. I didn't like any of the moves, and after b5 I thought this was very strong. Bishop takes, knight e4. And the problem is that if I move my queen, then white just comes with knight c6, and I think I'm just dead lost. Knight f6 is coming, and I'm dead. And I think white missed that, and that was my chance, and I grabbed it with bishop b7. But perhaps what else could I have played actually, if not bishop b7? Because if rook a7, maybe knight c6. Is very strong, and the knight takes the rook and then kind of escapes. So I think I played bishop b7. I didn't really see this move coming, but I think after queen e7 I have some chances to draw. Anyway, did not happen, happily, and I think a draw was a reasonable result considering how badly off I started the opening. So here we have a normal open Sicilian, and hopefully. Okay, this is not a good move, usually, but it's not so bad either. Okay, let's just castle. Okay, let's just attack. Let's just attack. Okay, now I'm gonna just continue to attack. I'm threatening b4, b4 is coming, e5 is coming. This is a nice spring roll here. A little Chinese action, spring roll deluxe. d5, maybe too early. Maybe not. Let's see. On g5 I have d4. That was my idea, but I don't know. It's a little bit sharp maybe, but I think it works. If white takes on d4, I can take on e4 even. First and then take on d4, or I can just take recapture back and take with the bishop, That's another type of position. I don't know which one I prefer, but anyway, that's the position we have. Okay, now, of course, I have a choice between knight h5 and knight d7. Actually, knight h5 does not look so bad. Knight d7 also doesn't look so bad. But I'll play knight h5 just to play at some point maybe knight f4 and attack this g5 pawn. And otherwise, I'm just planning to steamroll on the queen side after I move my queen away. Yeah, so let's say I go queen c7 to protect my e-pawn for later use. This one I'm not that worried about. Can play knight f4 now, but why? Just play a5. Maybe I should have played knight a4. That's okay. Well, this one goes. One way or another, it'll go. Maybe I should. Okay, now it'll go. And now let's see, b3 or a3. b3 I think looks fine. And okay, here I think I should just take. No way that white can survive that. So I'm just going to take and take. White can survive that, then the Sicilian should not be played, because that's probably the best that black can get in the Sicilian. But if I triple on the A file, who's going to be there when I come? That's the big question. I don't see it. The B pawn and the rooks, that should be detrimental to white's health. Already rook a1 and queen c2 mate is a threat. And on rook c1, queen a7, rook a1 mate is a threat that can't be stopped. Time to call it a day for white. Oh, that's a move that stops a couple of things, but how many? Queen a5, I suppose. Queen a7 was possible, but since I can play queen a5, why not go a little further up? And now the big truthful moment of truth. Nichts zu tun, nothing to do. As they say in Germany, where my opponent's playing from, I guess. So. And that does not defend. As you can see, thankfully my queen's on a5 now, right? Okay, well, that was an interesting game because it shows exactly how white should kind of avoid playing. So here, normally white just castles, but white played f3, and then I just, instead of playing h6 or something like that, I just continue playing developing moves, right? So white starts attacking, I take, and I start attacking myself, and so forth. Maybe I'll explain it a little later. Meanwhile, another strong opponent, highly decorated with a rating of 2474, and let's hit this pawn and keep it. Okay, this has all been played a few times before, including by me. Let's see what ideas black has in this position. That I played against Alexander Grishuk, and it didn't work out for me. Didn't work out at all, in fact. Though I drew the game, this is not my ideal opening position, let's put it this way. Yeah. See, extra pawn on c6 should be a reasonable. Okay, I don't want to. Should I? I'll play bishop g5 here. yeah, the supposed super attack. I understand black feels like he's almost in a bind to do something like that, but everything has its price. Okay, now let's think about the best place for the knight. If I go knight h4, black plays f5 and has ideas like bishop e7. And hard to say where my knight's gonna end up. Maybe I should play a little passively with knight e1. At least my knight can go to d3 and so forth. Yeah. Two bishops for black, certainly. But firm position for me, and of course the c6 pawn, the huge c6 pawn. Okay, now I think I should play knight d3 first. And now c4 or e4, that's a big question. c4 probably. Undouble my c pawn, right? Okay, and I have a square. Ah, I see. Black wants to win my... Ah, black wants to win the exchange. Fine. I don't mind. That's going to be such a bad position for black that it's not even funny. Hi. So that's okay. Now knight d5 for perhaps knight e4 to the queen e4. I don't know how many nice moves I have here. Lots of good options, but I have to choose one, right? Queen e4, de, f, queen e3, rook e8, and queen c3. That looks reasonably winning for white. Because now, of course, the c pawn is such a huge asset. And now knight d5. And now this position is just horrendous for black. The exchange doesn't make a difference, as you can see. Once I take on b6, I'll roll these pawns up. Knight e4 looks nice, but just queen b6 I think is just fine. Now they're about to roll. Put the queen back on d4, and now everybody's moving up. Okay. Should I play c7 and b6? Or knight f1 and knight e3? Maybe just knight f1 and knight e3, just to keep it very, very secure. To show black that I have... Ah, this one is an interesting move. Queen c3. Yeah, now I think black's activity should be coming to an end here, somewhere around here. The three connected pass pawns, I would call them, are going to start marching all the way to Berlin. Okay, so here comes the knight first of all. Now I can play even rook d1, or I can play c5, and on queen e5 I can take and play something like knight f4. Nice choices here, of course. I'm just going to improve my position for a little bit. Actually, black will play queen c5, right? Well, let me go here. let me start them off. Start them going a bit. Start the roller coaster. Then b6 maybe, or c7. b6, I guess. c7. Okay, c6. I don't know. I would be kind of giving up if I were black, but black is still sees threat, sees possibilities here. That's fine. Okay, let's defend these guys. Okay, I agree. Now I can take on c4 and queen. Maybe that's the simplest solution here. Actually, let me just do that. Make another queen. Yeah, that's enough, right? Okay, guys, this was a much better take it to the max show than the previous one, where I was losing games left and right. I think I only drew one game today, and even that was a two-time repetition. That was a tough game, and I probably should have lost it. Here, black misplayed early on when he fell into this trap that I fell into against Grishuk myself, which was to play b6 and allow bishop takes knight. This is a typical idea here for white in the London system. The London system has so many traps, you got to be aware of them. So if you prepare against the London, look up what white has done to black, and you'll see that, for example, even Magnus Carlsen now plays the London system. So good luck, and stay tuned for the Sinquefield Cup coming up. Meanwhile, coming up in the next few days, this was Grandmaster Max Dlugy with Take It to the Max show, and all the best to you guys. Enjoy.